right, everybody, welcome back to the Cabral Concept. Great to be here with you today. Can't wait to kick off today's show. I saw this post on Instagram, and honestly, it really hit me hard. I was taken aback by it, and I knew that I had to share it on the show here today, especially to start the week. It is something that I've thought about for decades now. Again, I think I'm a little bit different in the way that I sometimes think, but many people have been in my position. It's because you've almost had everything taken away from you. So when I was 17 and I got that sick and I stayed sick for a decade, 17 years old, 18 years old, 19 years old, 20 years old, all the way to 27, you never actually believe, you hope, you keep a little bit of hope in the back of your mind that you will get well. But after it's been that long, very unlikely that you're going to get well again unless you meet that right person and they have the right plan and they're able to make a world of difference for you. So for me, I feel like I always say this, like I grew up fast. I really did. I went from, I enjoyed my undergrad and all those fun things, but I'm like, is this it? Is this life now? Okay. No energy, always in pain, can't sleep. Brutal, right? But here's what it gives you though. It gives you appreciation for whatever time you believe you have. And then all of a sudden I got well, but I said to myself, never forget. Never allow yourself to forget what it was like for a decade of struggle in your life. Struggle in so many different ways. Now, other people struggle in different ways. I'm not going to say that at all. I had my struggles. They're mine. I don't know anybody else's. All I know that they were mine. And I think we all struggle in some way in our life. But also another thing begins to happen, and it's this. We oftentimes say, I'm good where I am right now. Yes, there's more that I want and I wish I did this, or I wish I could have that, or, maybe I'll do that next year or a few years from now. And I'm telling you right now, the waiting game is one of the most dangerous games you can play. As you start to get older and you move into different seasons of your life, it's not easy to make those same changes, but you have to. If you want to live a life that you truly love, that you don't have any regrets, it is time to begin to move forward for that next phase. I always share though with my private clients that doesn't mean that you need to blow up your current life. It really doesn't. You don't lay waste to the rest of your life in order to move forward to the next phase. Very few people should take that tact. The only ones is where you are so far off course, you need to completely change the direction of your life. I agree with that. There are times in some cases where you need to make not a directional change, but a 180. And that's okay. And now in those phases of your life, I can't recommend enough though, having a coach or a mentor or a guide, or sometimes a couple that are helping you in different areas of your life, because that is challenging. For most people, what I recommend is that you begin to write down a few of those things. And I've got my journal literally right in front of me. What would I regret not doing? And then realize you're like, well, I want to do this, this, and this. Okay. Well, how old are you right now? Maybe you're in your 30s, maybe you're in your 50s. Some things you write on that list, you're not going to do when you're in your 70s or 80s. Let's be honest, you're not going to. You're probably not going to start that new business from scratch when you're 85 years old, right? You're probably not going to write your, best-selling book when you're 78. Maybe you will. Maybe you will. Again, I'm not saying that you can't, and I'm not saying that you won't. But what I want you to do is realize that these days and these weeks passed quickly. They really do. And for me, it's crazy. When you've got a couple of kids and you see how quickly they grow up, you realize, oh wow, I'm growing up as well. My years are moving along too. And so that doesn't mean that you need to do everything in life, but the critical few things that matter to you, not to other people, but to you, those are the things that we need to start checking off the list, or at least going for it. So I want to share with you the post that I read, and I'm just paraphrasing the post because I like to keep things in my mind, and then I like to share them with you. And I'm not on social media a lot, less and less lately. And again, I apologize to people when I don't always, I'm not able to always comment back and all those things, but I try, I really do. But I find that when I'm on social media, I'm not getting the things done that really I want to prioritize in my life. But let me share this post with you and see if it hits you like it did me. So here we go. Some people wait all day for it to be 5 p.m., all week for it to be Friday, all winter for it to be summer, all childhood for it to be adulthood, and all their life looking for happiness. So when I first read that, I got it, because I remember actually being in college and undergrad and saying, is it Friday yet? Literally, is it Friday yet? Because I would go to class all day. I'd be doing my homework and work afterwards, my reading, all those different things. I would work. And so all of that was just a long week. And I just wanted to hang out with my friends and relax as well come Friday night. Now, I wasn't one of those people that went out Wednesday, Thursday night. I waited till Friday. But for me, I was kind of wasting my life away. And although I think undergrad, or I just think graduate school in general is great for a lot of individuals, I was pretty much over it by sophomore year. I'm like, oh, I get it. Okay. Yes. Read, memorize, regurgitate, read, memorize, regurgitate. I mean, I know that model is most likely going to be gone over the next decade. And that's because with ChatGPT, AI, Gemini, Claude, et cetera, it's kind of pointless. It really is. I felt that even back then. All I believe that was necessary and truly important is critical thinking and the capacity for work. And that is what I look forward for today. With team members, I'm like, are they a dedicated individual with a good capacity to work? Meaning they don't get completely overwhelmed with, more than one task, which most people don't, of course. And then also, what's their, not just the stamina, because that's the capacity for work, but just their critical thinking. Can they solve problems? If I were to give you a problem, could you just go and find the answer? Even if you didn't have it, that is so critical in life. But anyway, I want to get back on this topic of some people wait all day for it to be 5 p.m., all week for it to be Friday, all winter for it to be summer. And that's a big thing we do in New England, right? So you're in Boston, you're in Maine, you're in all these beautiful places. Again, it could be New York, it could be Connecticut, all over. Rhode Island, one of my faves. And so you're oh, it's winter. Yeah, but winter lasts from November through essentially early April. It snows in early April here. So when you look at that, you're just waiting all of those months. So you're waiting 6 months of the year to try to get a little bit of warmer weather. And what I'm looking at that is it's wasting the time then right now. What can you do right now? And if you don't love the winter and you're not stuck to that location, maybe it's time to move. And I know that seems abrupt, but if you work virtually, you can now live anywhere. And yes, it's going to be a challenge for maybe the kids to change schools, those types of things. But another quote that I always kept in the back of my door, I always kept this in the back of my bedroom door when I was, not only when I was younger, before college, but also in college: the future is no place to place your better days. I love that. By Dave Matthews Band. The future is no place to place your better days. Because you're oh, I'll do it when the kids move out. I'll do it. Okay. But who's to say you're in the best of health then? Who's to say there won't be other challenges then? So what I'm saying to you is that there will never be that perfect moment, because you can't plan for the perfect moment. We can't plan for it. We can hope for it. We can wish for it. We can take action towards it. But truthfully, we need to get started today, because our best life is waiting for us now. So the goal is we have to ask ourselves, what do we really do? What do we really want right now? And you could say, well, I don't need anything right now, but I want something a year or two from now. Understood. But you know what? A year or two from now, all of those things, all of those goals, everything we achieve at that point a year or two from now happens today. It literally happens right now, because all of our actions of today lead us towards tomorrow. And what's tomorrow? We wake up, it's today. Every day is today, right? I know that sounds like a little bit of meta, but when you think about it, that's all we have. And then a year from now, 2 years from now is today. That day came and we weren't prepared for it. And the way that we prepare for it is by proper vision, right? Gathering our emotions, being able to take action, having the discipline to do those things day in, day out. That's it. No major work required. Small daily tasks add up to major changes in our life. They truly do. So what I want for you is for you to live your absolute best life. And that is not for me or anyone else to tell you what that is. Because happiness, part of it is just the growth process. It's literally the unfolding of life. But in order to get more out of life, we simply have to ask for more. And then we need to meet life halfway. We need to take our step each and every day, doing a little bit more action, just a little bit more, in order to be able to achieve everything we've always desired. Hopefully this has been helpful today. Thank you so much for joining me on the Cabral Concept. I thank you. I appreciate you. And of course, if this was helpful, do feel free to share it with anyone you believe it could serve. Thanks so much for tuning into today's show. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I want to make sure that you're getting our daily content, not missing out on anything functional medicine, wellness, weight gain, weight loss, anti-aging, living longer, stronger, and all of the most cutting-edge research. And if there's any topics you want to hear, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Take care.